Hi, this is Yvonne Pran, and I'd like to share something that you can do very easily with Snappa.com. And this is the easiest way to create these verses that you could share on social media. I know there are just thousands, probably millions of them out there today, but I know I always find it very encouraging when someone sends me one or I see it on social media. And if you come across a verse in your quiet time, in a sermon, your small group, whatever that really speaks to your heart, why not create something like this and share it? Very, very easy to do with Snappa. So let's jump right to the program and I'll show you how. Here we are in Snappa.com. I do have another video that shows you how to get signed up for it, but it's really easy. And once you do that, when you go on Create, you click the little button that says Create a Graphic, and up comes all of these preset images. Very easy to see what you're looking at. You've got your Pinterest, your Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, blog images, LinkedIn, whatever you would like. I do enjoy Pinterest, so I'm going to click on that. Now, there's a lot of pre-done templates that come up, and if one of the pre-done templates actually has an image that you already like, that's great, go with it. But I find that when I'm creating these for verses, usually I need to start from scratch because somehow the other ones they just don't quite do it what I want them to do. So here I click on the create from scratch. Now what I like to do is, and there's no particular order in this, is you can either put your background first or your verse. I like to put my verse in first. So I'm going to go up I'm actually going to go now to the Bible Gateway. This is the one that I use, and there are many different ones, but when I want to copy and paste a verse. So up here in the enter keyword, let's just do John 14:6. So I enter that. And just this wonderful verse, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and just Control C, and then I go back to Snappa. And then here's what you do. This is so easy. You hit the little text tab, and I find the add a subheading works the best, actually size-wise and all for this. So I'm going to click on it and just paste. With Snappa, it's easiest to move your text boxes around when you're clicked off of it. So that's what I'm doing. And see how when that line comes up, that means you've got it centered. So here we have Jesus answered, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I do like to also put in the reference, and you can either just write it or you can go back to the Bible Gateway. Again, highlight it, Control C to copy, back to Snappa, back to the text tab. And on this, I hit the little body text thing because it's a little bit smaller. Works out just great. Highlight it and then Control V, and we've pasted it in there. Now that's just fine as it is. Now, although what I think I'm going to do on this one, because it's a short verse and I want it to really sort of stand out, let me just get one of the bold typefaces. Let's just try this one. Roboto Black. Yep, that's great. That's fine. Now you notice it has kind of an odd way where the verse has started here, and I don't really like that spacing, so I go back onto it and then get my cursor in there. Just hit enter, and that lines it up a little more nicely. So you can change your verses around. You can actually make this more narrow. You can make it wider. You can do those kind of modifications, whatever you'd like. Also too, because we cut off the verse before it was finished, you might want to add closing quotation marks. So we've got our verse on there. So now we need an image that we want to put behind it. Yeah, I know this isn't quite lined up, but let's put our image in first. So we go up to the background tab because we're talking about the way and all that. Let's hit road. Now there's a lot of different images that you can select. This one's really kind of interesting, but let me show you the problem with this. This is a little graphic design lesson. Of course you can't see it, so let's make that white. Now we might think, oh, isn't that, and I'm going to just move this out of the way so you can see the drawing a little bit more closely. You might think, oh, that is the most interesting thing. Here you've got this cell phone and then it turns into a road and oh, isn't that fascinating? Yes, it is, but I'll tell you why I don't want to use it for this particular piece. And that's because the image actually would distract from the verse. We don't want people trying to figure out the design of the image. We want them to focus on the verse. So let me just make that white while I'm looking at it. So let's get another image that might not be as distracting. So we're going to go to background. How about something really simple like this one? Oh, now that one is so much better. Let me actually make this a little bit larger. And here, definitely are simply focused on the message. Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So actually what I want to do to emphasize is just a little bit more. Okay, I really like that. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. You see, it was very quick, very simple, very easy. Let's just make sure everything is centered. We just do that double check where we just wait till that little line comes up, and there we have our verse. Now we then can go up here and I'm going to title it John 14:6. Now that's not enough. Don't forget what you need to do is you also then need to click save, and that way you save your verse to the file that you have that is yours here on Snappa, and you can then download it. And I'll go ahead and do that. And there I have a bunch of different images and I now have that downloaded and I can load it up to Pinterest later. Now this is a real quick, easy way to do this. Let's pick another verse and let me show you another thing that you can do to these images. Okay, we're back on the Bible Gateway. Let's go to John 14:27. One of my favorite verses, where Jesus says, peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid. So let's go ahead and copy that verse. Control C, and then back to Snappa. And when I'm doing a group of these, all you have to do, just leave this one here. We've already saved this particular image, so we can go ahead and we can modify something and just paste right over that. Move that out of the way. This is John 14:27. Okay, first of all, I probably don't really like that typeface for this verse, but before I select a final typeface, let's find a different picture. We go back to background. You can either remove it first but you don't even have to do that. Let's go ahead and let me just say something like peaceful. Let's see what comes up. Now there's some nice images. Let's see, what would that one look like? Let me show you something with this. You see, you can kind of read the writing, but it's also a little bit difficult because of all that's going on behind it. What you can do is you can then go up to the tab that says shapes, pick a shape, and then we're just going to go over our print here, and that green is kind of a nice color, so let's go ahead and select, say, a green color. Oh, that's an icky green color. Now if you don't like exactly the tone of the green, you can move it around. Yeah, I like that green a whole lot better. Yeah, that one's better, so we'll have that. But what do? It's on top, so we select it, and then we go up to move layer back, and we have our verse here. Now obviously that just kind of cuts the whole image off and it just looks really weird. So what we're going to do, don't worry about the typeface right now. What we're going to do, we've got this selected. We go over here to shape opacity. We click on that, and then see what you can do is you just make it less opaque and see how you can see the image through it, but you can read the text so much easier. And it's really not even distracting. It's just kind of neat how that works out. Now let's pick a more peaceful typeface. No, that one's kind of goofy. Let's see, what should we do? Now, just like with the illustration that was too complex, you don't want to get a typeface that's too complex. This one, great vibes. Oh, it's really pretty and it's scripty and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of hard to read and it just looks kind of weird. And then this Nochi hand, that one looks, it just looks kind of sloppy. Let's find something that is very easy to read and yet perhaps a little more classic. I like that one. This one, it isn't a terribly fancy one. I'm going to increase the size of the box just a little bit, but it's still very easy to read. And again, here the sentence starts right at the edge, and that doesn't look good. So once again, I'm just moving that down. So let's also, there we go. We have let me just center this box a little bit better. There we go. There, we have a very nice verse that we could share. You have this very peaceful setting, and yet you can still read it. So just have fun with these, download them, just do whatever you'd like, and share God's Word with people through your social media. For lots more resources for church communicators, go to www.effectivechurchcom.com or churchcomtraining.com. And now may the Lord be with you and give you strength and joy as you serve Him today in church communications.